You know, changing careers can be really intimidating, especially if you've been in a career for a long time. It can feel like there's just no way that you can break out of it and start over again. But the good news is that people change careers every single day. And the secret is having the right resources and information to do that. My name is JT O'Donnell. I'm the founder of Work It Daily, and we are the YouTube channel that turns frustration into career success. I'm going to be sharing with you today 3 top tips that can help you change careers successfully. But before I do that, I just want to remind you, if you haven't already, to hit the subscribe button, because that's going to make sure that you get all our latest content as soon as we publish it, especially if you hit the little notification bell too. All right, so let's get down to the business of helping you change careers. So before you can change careers, there's one important step that you need to take, and that is making sure that you are choosing the right next career path for you. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody switch gears, change careers, only to find out that they're unhappy. That can feel like a setback, and I don't want that to happen for you. Now, if you haven't seen it already, you may want to check out our video resource. It's called The 4 Steps to Choosing a Career Path. And this is going to help you really validate and make sure that the new direction that you want to go in is in fact the right one for you. So be sure to check that one out. Okay, if you know what career you want to dive into, then it's time to start using the following tips. Tip number 1, I want you to showcase your transferable skills. You might assume that your resume is telling a hiring manager or a recruiter that you are perfect for this new career, but most of the time it doesn't tell that story. That's because you inside your head know that you'd be great for this new career, but you have to actually connect the dots for those companies that you want to get hired by. Now, the way to do that is by really showcasing those transferable skills. And transferable skills are those things that you could do from one job to the next. It might be something like project management or sales, customer service, budgeting, forecasting. There are just so many different skills that we have that can be used in all sorts of careers. And if you've done your homework, then you know which of those specific skills you plan to use in this next career. Now, the key is to make sure you get them on the proper career tools. So you're going to want to showcase them on your resume as well as on your LinkedIn profile. And even as you're going through the hiring process, you might include them in the cover letter and even in the interview questions and answers. So it's really important that you know the specific transferable skills that you plan to use in this next career and showcase them accordingly. So tip number 2 is to upskill where needed. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the first tip, I had you assess your transferable skills and identify which ones you were going to bring over to that new career. And I'm sure you've got plenty of them. But usually career changers are missing a few key skill sets that are necessary for that new career path. And so you want to show potential employers that you want to close that gap in your skills and abilities. Now, what do you want to do? Well, you might take an online certification, you might attend industry events, you can proactively network, do some pro bono projects. Whatever you have to do, there are plenty of resources out there that can help you upskill. What's most important here is that you're showing those potential employers that you're making a dedicated effort to be the exact candidate they need, in spite of the fact that you don't have that previous experience. Okay, now my third tip is probably the most important one, and that is look to your network to help you. We say this all the time here at Work It Daily, your network is your net worth. And what you want to be doing is talking to industry professionals and getting introductions to individuals that work at the kinds of companies that you want to work at in your new career. It's important that you have meaningful conversations with people to better understand what it's going to take to earn a position. And the reason I say that is because when you have these dialogues, you're going to be able to showcase your personality and your aptitude as well as your experience. And that's pretty important because we know that personality and aptitude, that's really what people hire you for. So if you can build relationships and get people to trust you and respect you, they're going to be more likely to help you out, maybe make introductions, walk your cover letter and resume into a hiring manager, and even put in a good word for you and say, even though he or she doesn't have the exact experience, I met and know that this person could do the job. That's what you're looking for, a seal of approval so that you can change careers successfully without having to start over. You know, it would be wrong for me not to mention at this point that job search and career change can be hard enough as it is. But a lot of times people don't even realize they're making some big mistakes in their job search. If you think about it, school didn't teach us how to do this, and I see people making a lot of bad moves. So I'm really going to encourage you, if you haven't already, to check out our free resource that we have that identifies and outlines all the classic mistakes people are making today in their job search that's really costing them a lot of time and it's creating a lot of frustration. I promise you, once you watch this video, it's really going to help you understand how you can fine-tune your job search, especially if you're changing careers, because we know that that can feel daunting and we want you to feel empowered, and this is one of the ways that you can do that. Okay, folks, so those were some of my top tips for changing careers. I'd love to get your feedback. Which tip do you think is most helpful to you, and how are you going to apply it? And of course, questions, comments, feedback, we love to hear from you and we answer them all. So please make sure you do that in the comments below. With one final reminder, I really hope to see you in the next video. And remember this, if you want to win, you've got to work it daily.